Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It comes in a 1/16 scale, and this is quite interesting release because it combines several figures in one box. As you can see, it is named as Army of Ice, and kit number is DS1601. It means that's the first release where we actually get 3 figures in 1/16 scale, but I guess we will get more in the future, so it will be interesting to recheck these figures. And I'm saying recheck because we reviewed each of these sets separately, and you can find the video review on our YouTube channel. But who knows, maybe there is something new inserted into this box, maybe there will be some special stand, and that's why we have a commercial sample on the table, and it also means that you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video. So first of all, I have to note that box size is typical for ICM. I would say it's kind of similar to what we are used to see in tank kits from this brand. And box art is, I would say, quite self-descriptive, so we get 3 figures in a large scale. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and if I flip over this box, here we have some information about this kit. So there are 60 parts for assembly of 3 figures, and they should be quite large. Let's not forget that we are dealing with a 1/16 scale kit. And on the opposite side you can find, let's say, marking guide for these figures, but obviously there will be a separate marking manual inside the box, and we will talk about it a bit more detailed way. So box is sealed with a tape, and I'm going to cut it right now, and we will take a closer look. In the meantime, I can say that the previous 1/16 scale releases were quite interesting because they actually offer you a good experience to assemble a figure in a large scale, and maybe it's also a nice thing for beginners who are not that confident with a small scale kits. So in the big scale, obviously you get a bit more space for mistake, and this might be handy for those who are just training their skills. So I'm cutting these tapes, and we will start our reviews in a second. Okay, so this is a typical box design for this brand, and it means that we have this color printed top part. As you can see, it's quite flexible, and then we have sturdy white cardboard box. It actually provides all the necessary protection, and as you can see, all the parts arrived to me intact, even though post was not kind to this parcel. So we have 3 plastic bags, and they're basically divided in accordance with various figures. And what is nice to see is that all 3 are coming with their own stands, just like in the original, let's say, single release. And this is really handy feature. So I'm opening the first one, and maybe we won't be focusing on the figure stand because it's something what we saw in the previous releases from ICM as well. As you can see, there is a one-piece section and top and bottom part. Obviously, nobody stops you from modifying these elements in order to get a different type of the surface on the stand, maybe to get a different color. Who knows, maybe you would imagine also something interesting, or maybe completely assemble this figure without any of the stand parts. Next, we start with a clear plastic sprue. So here we have a spear, and actually it should be modeled as made out of ice, so that's why it is coming out of clear plastic, and you have to let's say, play with weathering and painting techniques in order to replicate the actual ice. But I like the molding quality. Note that attachment point is only one right in the middle, so it's just a matter of careful separation and you'll be good to go. Next, we have the gray plastic sprue. So here you can see figure parts, and I would say the overall design is somewhat standard for a 1/16 scale. It means we have 1-piece legs, 1-piece hands, but torso should be assembled out of 2 pieces, so be sure to get the smooth connection between them, because otherwise it will be really evident that these parts are glued out of 2 holes. Also, head and facial features, they look quite convincing, so it's just a matter of careful painting and you have a really nice result. By the way, if I flip over these parts, you can notice that we have some guiding elements. This is really handy because these parts are quite big. Do not underestimate them. Here you can see comparison with my fingertip. This is a 1/16 scale, so they're definitely not small. And in the meantime, I'm opening another plastic bag. so I just need a second in order to remove it. Okay, so what do we have here? Again, one plastic sprue made out of clear plastic. But first of all, again, I will show you the stand parts. So here they are, absolutely the same, so there is no difference in what we saw in the previous set. As for the clear sprue, it comes in the separate plastic bag, so we just need a second to open it, and we will talk about it in a bit more detail. So here we have a clear spear again, and again it will copy the spear made out of ice, but you can see that molding quality is really great. It comes as a single piece part, and we have only actually two attachment points, but they're in the middle, so it's just a matter of careful separation and painting, and you'll be good to go. Next, we continue with a gray plastic sprue. So here we have again the same parts design as what we saw on the first sprue. So here you can take an overall look. And of course, poses are predefined. And as far as I remember, there was no assembly option included, so only one assembly option. And if I zoom closer, you can check also these surface details on the body because they look quite nice. Let's not forget that we are dealing with a standard plastic kit, so that's why it's even more impressive. And I think with a clever shading technique, it should look great. Next, we have one more figure. I hope you remember that we have 3 figures in one box. So again, we get the figure stand parts. Here they are, and they are absolutely the same. There is no change. So we just move them to the side. And there is a gray plastic sprue with parts for the final figure. So note that this guy has armament made out of gray plastic. It's an axe, you can see it here, but otherwise the overall design is absolutely the same as what we saw on the previous figures. Again, if I zoom in, you can see that we have really nice sculpting on the body parts and also on the facial features, here on the closest. So if we flip it over, inside we do not have any guiding elements here, unfortunately, so be careful while joining all this stuff together. It will be really important to get the smooth connection between body parts. And next, on the bottom, we have all the, let's say, paperwork for these figures. And from what I can see, these are basically the same things as what we got in the single releases. So first of all, we get this special poster with the box art for the King of the Night, and then we have this assembly manual with the parts map and marking guide combined together with assembly manual. Next, we continue with the white poster. So here you can see him. And again, assembly manual in the same style as the first one, so it means the parts map on one side, and here we have the marking guide combined together with assembly manual. And one more is the Great Other, so again we have a poster, and we have an assembly manual which is printed in color, and here you can see the marking guide for this guy. So, all in all, we get a really interesting combo for those of you who missed the initial single releases or they were waiting actually for such combo, and it should be already available in Modelimex. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.